Hola.
Green light. Go, go, go.
All right, and here we are with qualifying for GRG GT4 Championship, round 5 from Misano. Apologies for the slight delay in the commentary coming in, but had a couple things to work out whenever it came to volumes and such, and so got that set up, and now we can have some chats with everyone hanging out. No one, but anyways, 12 minutes remain here in qualifying, where everyone's trying to get out and set their first laps. I don't know who's on their flying lap right now. Is that 198 here, Stallman, going for the first lap of the qualifying?
No, everyone else is on a lap.
Okay, so,
besides me, he's actually like one of the last people to get out of pit lane.
Okay, so when we're watching the number 22 Maserati here trying to set its first lap. Misano is always a tricky track because it seems like it's definitely not built for race cars, and which I mean obviously it isn't, but it's definitely not a racetrack that seems to work best for cars. Maserati goes in with a 148 now to see how much faster the Porsche is. Invalidated lap time there. What about the Chevy? Also a non-valid lap.
Richard's gonna be the first one on a valid lap, I think. Besides
comes the Alpine on through, just barely faster than the Maserati. Surprising to see so far. Try to see what this BMW sets here on his first lap. I don't know if I have the most up-to-date skin pack for this, by the way, because I don't think you released one this week. So if anyone has new liveries, they will not be featured on the broadcast. So I do apologize for that.
I don't think I've updated them anyway, so if anyone's to blame, it's me.
Here, he's got to be setting a valid lap here. Yeah, there he goes. That's the time I was waiting for. 144 out of the Aston Martin here, jumps up into first, given that 3-second gap to the Maserati as everyone expected it to actually.
Let's see, has anyone sent any new? Dom sent one. Dom hasn't raced in this, so I'm not gonna include that one. Someone, Max Leonard. Okay, that's fine. That's a custom anyways, not a custom.
I haven't personally done too much running around Misano in these GT4 cars, but I do know in the couple races I did do that it felt way better than it did in the GT3s, just purely because you could actually use the curbs. For whatever reason, the GT3s just don't like the curbs at this racetrack, but the GT4 seem to use it up pretty well, especially the Porsche and the Alpine. Those things really like the Porsche, or really like the curbs here. It did seem.
GT3s are higher, the GT3s are lower compared to the higher up GT4s. So.
Yeah, in terms of ride height, it does make sense. Also, probably the extra weight as well that would be featured in a GT3 car probably doesn't help either. Bunatik's going to the pole there, up 0.2 of a second over Salman and the Aston.
It's a very colorful BMW. See what he can do as he crosses the line. Oh, he's not on a valid lap. Would have been a 149.4. See what Salman can do as he comes up to make his run down the line. He improves. Still 8 minutes left in qualifying, so plenty of time for people to make up time.
As there was almost a contact moment there coming up out of the hairpin between the two Porsches. The 17 car appeared to be a little bit out of shape as the 327 was coming on by, and Michael almost hit Daniel there.
Someone pulling off there in the front stretch. Shaw. 206 improves his lap time, but can't really get anywhere closer. He's moved his gap down to 8:10. See what Richards can do. Improves by about a second. Michael goes up to second place. It's about
And remember, on that lap time, he did have to dodge the 17 car there at the hairpin. So I do believe there's still a few tenths left in that lap time that he.
Yeah, very true. There it goes. Now they've announced it officially.
iRacing finally just posted the M4
Yep.
after deleting it how many times?
Yes. Give me a second.
Salmon improves there, going up to with that 143.5. Of course, he improved that before. I just didn't catch it. But that's going to put the Aston Martin on the provisional pole here with just 5.5 minutes remaining in qualifying. He is, it's pretty good shape. But again, here comes Loeffler through the final corner. He's going to be trying to put every little bit he has here. He had a clean lap this time around. That's going to put him on pole. As I said, definitely I think that run at the hairpin cost him a few tenths, and he just showed it right there. 0.01 of a second separate him and Salman San on the pole position at the moment. See if anyone can challenge. We still have 4 cars left to run a lap. Now 3 as Ishan Hall in the Audi comes along, 7 seconds behind. Only one of the now 3 remaining cars to set a lap are on the racetrack at the moment, and that is the colorful BMW that you mentioned. Salman is back on the racetrack. He's trying to go faster as Loeffler's elected to go back to the pits. He's re-rolling though, so he's still going to try for one more lap left in the session. BMW here, who still waiting on. Now Ramiro as well has began rolling on the racetrack, so we have just 1 car left to set a lap, and that is going to be Keith Hurst in the number 24 Aston. And that's going to be a lap time there valid, so now we're just waiting on the final 2 to set their valid lap times. As here comes Salman trying to work his way around. That's going to hurt his fight to go and get that pole back. They're having to work his way around the BMW that was in the way. Salman probably going to be trying to give it every little bit he can here, of course, but 2.5 minutes remaining. He's only got about 1 more lap left to try to set in this session. And again, with the dirty air there, that's gonna ruin his session for the time being, at the very least. It does appear as if Keith Hurst will not be attempting a lap, because at this point he would need to be rolling to have a chance to set a lap, and he is not. Once again, the 17 Porsche off track there, seeming to really struggle to come to grips here in this qualifying session, which is on a really cold track here at the moment, 21 degrees Celsius. So these cars may not be hooking up quite to what people were expecting in terms of the temps. Almost backing off here through the third sector, trying to get himself a little bit of a gap between himself and the 22 Maserati in front. I think it's a wise decision, especially being showing at 2.5 seconds faster a lap at the moment. You're going to want to make sure that gap's about 4 to 4.5 seconds between you and the car in front before you hit this qualifying lap. And along, it's going to start the timer there as he runs a 48.6 there. That was a misinterpreted lap with traffic in the way in Sector 1. Ramiro coming along for his lap time here. Does not get a valid one in, so he's going to have to set a clean lap here at the final seconds in order to jump up from 12th. Otherwise, he'll be starting on the tail end of the field. And Salman off track at the hairpin will not be able to challenge for that pole position. So as of right now, it's going to stay separated by just 2/100ths of a second. Lawful, of course, still on track. So he has one more chance to try to set a lap time here. Do not think it'll be necessary, as all the cars that are near him are currently on the pit lane, but we do have Peter Varga and the number 5 Porsche also trying to set a lap time here, see if he can't jump his way up into the top 3 or even towards the pole.
I returned. Had some issues there. So.
Welcome back, Ethan. Missed you.
Yep, I see a big shape in qualifying there. So it's actually fairly close. Looks like.
Yeah, and Salman on his charge to try to get the pole back ended up having traffic in Sector 1, and then there on his final lap went off at the hairpin just slightly, which invalidated his lap time, and so he didn't really get a chance to go and charge back for it. So now we're watching on Varga, see if he can't jump his way up here, even just one spot in the final seconds of qualifying. Comes across the line here. He does go faster, jumps his way up into P3. Still 5/10ths off the pole, but hits that P3 spot and marks his way up. I think that the session ends. I think I've realized it. The session ends whenever the game decides that you no longer have a chance to improve. So, for example, the session ended with Loeffler still driving because he was on pole already and had no reason to finish the lap because he had no chance to improve. And I think that that's kind of what the game seems to do, to try to hurry things along in a weird way. Kind of annoying way, but in a weird way. And obviously it probably misjudges itself at times, which results in what we see with people not getting to set their laps to try to go faster. As we are waiting on the race to start here, we'll run a quick ad break. Be right back. For those of you who are subscribed, ad break. We will return in just a moment.
Sure.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Start rolling off of qualifying. This is the race. What am I talking about?
Yes, the cars are now rolling for the race. Be a 30-minute race one. If I am honest, I forgot about the structure of this series whenever I was logging on, and for some reason I was thinking it was the structure that the GT3 Legacy Championship that we run on Tuesdays is, which is a 150-minute long race with the mandatory pit stop. I forgot about the fact that it's a 2-race system, and so, yep, shows why you shouldn't wake up just before the races happen. Unfortunately, due to the time change, it's made it hard to not do that.
Oh, I'm very disappointed. Why is it only go to the GT3 cars? Shaking my head. So the GT3 cars, their whole number panel goes to a specific color based on what class you're in. So if you're AM, it's red. If you're silver, it's silver, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Well, because it's red in the AM class, it has white numbers, so it looks glorious in my opinion. The red on white. But sadly, they do not do that with GT4. Like the number panel on the car.
I see just a...
That's because it does it with GT4. It's only GT3.
Oh, okay.
Very
Yeah, like I see, like in like the leaderboard, like Ramiro, for example, has the red back panel, and then he has got black text on top of it. But then the gray panel has white text on top of it.
Yes. I can find a picture of it here somewhere.
Cars are now getting through the Sector 3 section here. This track map. I could have already. Boy, why does it? I'm just gonna up that.
Everyone's starting to grid up now. The last couple of corners here.
Turn 15 and 16 is what these numbers are. Okay. The actual Misano corner is the final corner. Cars are now rolling off. Come side by side. Up towards the start-finish line. We're going to wait for those red lights to turn green. And there they go. Cars are racing down towards the turn 1 chicane. Got to be careful here. Can't be too slicey-dicey.
Salmon looks to take the lead into 1. They're side by side there. Going through 2 now. Salmon is able to get ahead now. Porsche Stone is inside. Not sure.
Camera angles at this racetrack are not very great for showcasing any amount of racing.
There we go. Going into 4 now. Salmon takes the lead.
We're going to broadcast on the Helicam of this race because that's the only way I can see anything. Salmon, as he said, going for the crossover though is Loeffler. They're side by side, barely getting back on the racetrack there with Salmon. Michael squeezing him all the way to the edge of the racetrack there. The Porsche under braking, getting the lunge. Peter Varga also had late braking. Off the racetrack he goes though. Off the back off goes a car, appeared to be a blue one of some sort.
It was the Beamer. He had a late brake and misjudged it himself.
The Helicam there just came across the radio tower on the bottom of the screen. I thought it was a car off track that was careening right towards someone getting ready to T-bone them. That caught me off guard. Single file now as they get down towards Sector 3. Coming through the Turn 11 MotoGP section. This portion of the racetrack is a lot of fun from what I understand in a motorbike, but in these race cars, they are not very happy. The Sharknado Camaro there trying to get every little bit it can up the rear end of the Porsche there in P3. These 4 cars were all right near each other in terms of qualifying pace, and the positions they run in now is how they qualified. Further down the field in the second pack, we've got some action here as the Audi of Keshawn Hall here pulling out on the Aston Martin of Ramiro Perez, trying to go side by side down into turn 1. Oh, and contact at turn 1. Around goes the 17 Porsche. That was contact with the number 11 BMW. Not quite sure what happened there, but appeared to be just a little bit of a squeeze, and around the Porsche went.
Nope. Post-race investigations already. Yay.
Salmon there got in a little bit of a tangle with Loeffler, which lost him some time, and so the third place car of Varga now right up to his bumper. Salmon really struggling on the brakes there at the hairpin, as Bunatix is as well, going off track. Salmon only got 1 lap in during qualifying where he did not go off at the hairpin, so that may be a note worth watching here, is how aggressively does he use the brakes there, and how careful can he be in terms of not having contact and not getting track limit penalties there.
Looks like there in the back, the Alpine of Mr. Richards is attacking Hall. Who was there through the previous sector? Doesn't look like he's doing it now.
The 11 BMW and the 24 Aston Martin here racing for P9. Back end of the field, as you did say, the Alpine, which is a car that is notoriously good at using up every inch of the racetrack it's provided. This is one of those racetracks where you want to use up every inch you can, because you need to. Up front, they're still single file, but these cars are still challenging each other. The Bunatix Camaro falling off a little bit off the rear, dropping its gap now to 1.2 seconds off of Peter Varga. Side by side down into turn 4.
Oh, there's a tap from Salmon.
Oh, and around he goes.
Yeah, another one. lap 3. Come on, guys. What are you guys doing?
That was an aggressive move for the lead there. We're going to back this one up and watch it. That was an aggressive move for the lead that resulted in contact and a spin. So coming through the final corner, Salmon late on the brakes, trying to get as much of a run as he can down towards the turn 1 through 3 complex. Gets right up to the bumper there. The Aston Martin seems to be really good under braking, but also seems to miss under braking at times, as we were seeing with the hairpins there. So whenever he's coming up, he's got a really good run up out of turn 3. Takes a dive up the inside, kind of almost unexpectedly there as the Porsche went defensive, and then Salmon just ran right into the back of him on the corner exit, possibly not expecting him to be so slow there. And definitely just tagged him on the rear, and around he went. Unfortunate contact there in the battle for the lead.
Loeffler made a nice move there by Ramiro going into turn 13, so he's up to 5th place now. Trying to make his way back through the field there.
Unfortunate incident there for Michael. Obviously, again, he qualified on pole and was running up front there for the first couple laps, and he's got to work his way back up. As you mentioned, he's got the Maserati in front of him here, and he's back into clean air to go after that front gap. Now he's going to be driving angry as well, so he's going to have every reason to try to push as hard as he can, but he's got to be careful on those track limits here.
Still 24 minutes left in the race, so anything can happen.
Maserati, almost a spin there for Loeffler. As Maserati was kind of letting him by, and he went for a lunge on the inside of turn 4, caught the curb, and the car got very upset, almost causing a big wreck right there between the three of them, Michael, Ramiro, and Shaw. Fortunately, everyone made it through cleanly there.
Oh, as Ramiro makes a dive there past... Oh, no, he actually misses his braking zone. That's what that was.
That was a mega dive. That was so much of a dive that Ramiro outdove himself.
Yeah.
But that also brought Loeffler right back through, once again putting him into that clean air over top of this Maserati. Impressive drive so far by Shaw there, though. Keeping that car that has no traction control or ABS and is well off the pace in general up front so far through this one. Battle for the lead now between 3 cars. Bunetix, after that incident, is caught right back up to the rear end of this fight. Varga now up into first after being P3 there for the first couple laps. So he's the real winner out of that fight. Or out of that spin, I should say. That happened there on lap 3 at turn 4. Salmon all over the curbs there. Really loose up off the final corner. Battle for the lead. Hopefully it stays like a fun one, just like this, for the remaining 22 minutes of this one.
Trying to get a look on the cars in the back. For the most part, they're kind of spread out. They're close enough to be like within a second, but they're not close enough to really make moves.
Salmon really hard in the braking zone down to turn 4, trying to get right up to the bumper of that Porsche. The Porsche gets such a good drive off there through turn 5 that it just makes it really hard to do anything against him, because that car just rolls so smooth through there. Varga's got a really good setup on that for turn 6 as well, because he was able to use up all the inside curb and all the outside curb, and that's going to be a really beneficial place to be fast on this racetrack.
One thing I see a lot of people take up is the anti-cuts at 6, or if you want to call them anti-extents, I guess, in that sense. They just go all down.
Big slide there in the lead from Varga down at turn 10. Going to give a run here to Salmon and the Aston Martin going down the straightaway, but the Porsche's no slouch in a straight line. As much as you wouldn't expect it, that car does got itself some straight line speed. It cuts through the air very well. Early braking from Varga. Salmon not expecting it, way off the racetrack there. Almost another incident with a slow Porsche and the Aston Martin coming in with a head of steam.
Loeffler's now brought that gap down to about 7.7 seconds from him to the leader. So he's making his way back up there, slowly but surely.
They keep on fighting the way they do as well, that'll help him. Ooh, hello, welcome Matt. Thank you for the Prime subscription, 3 months in a row. Thank you very much for your continued support here on Twitch. We wouldn't be able to operate without you, so thank you enough. As Ramiro with a big bobble down in turn 1 there.
We need to get one of those, like, either audio clips or pictures or something for that.
Yeah, but I think right now it just pops up with just the GRG logo for now, which is good enough. Ooh, and the Maserati outbraking itself, and through goes Perez up into that P5. Maserati no longer leading the train.
Yeah, Maserati seems like a gatekeeper, kind of like everyone, like same speed as everyone, but he's just slightly slower. so that everyone kind of has to catch up, or that everyone like catches up in the wrong places. Looks like Daniel has gotten past the BMW.
Being able to jump by here for Ramiro before sector 3 to be able to hopefully try to maximize a straight line, because as far as I know, that's where the Maserati really hurts the worst, is in terms of top end speed. So being able to get in front of the Maserati prior to the fast section of the racetrack is beneficial for Ramiro, because it allows him to try to bridge that gap a bit bigger and get away from it. As speaking of, Ramiro goes off the racetrack, and that's been eradicating any gap that he's gained.
Very nice battle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars within about 2 seconds or so of 5th place.
Telecam does a really good job of trying to capture every car in the battle, and I really do like it for that exact reason, because it pans out and moves its focus based off of where cars are at, and it really makes for a good shot of what's going on around. Up front, Salman all over the rear end of Peter Varga. Once again through the turn 4 and 5 complex. It seems like the Aston Martin gets really, really good through the first chicane, which really allows him to catch up and get a good run up out of turn 3. Try to work his way back up, but he just by the time they get to turn 4, the Porsche can just roll so well through 5 and 6 that it really allows him to pull away. And then the rest of the lap is just trying to play catch up there for Salman. Miro with a big bobble there. The Maserati now trying to contest him on the way back towards turn 10. Oh, and contact. Just a little bit of door check in there between the two. Maserati on the outside, Ramiro on the inside.
Salman trying to make a move on the outside there, going to 13, I think that was, or 12, I don't know. I can't remember. But he can't make it done,
13 is the braking one.
Ah, got it. Yeah. He's trying there, but he's still stuck behind that Porsche for the lead, so.
That's unfortunate to hear, Matt, that you won't they weren't able to race here today, or possibly for the finale, but hopefully you can be here in spirit with the stream, and once again, thank you for your support. The battle back here between these 5 cars for P5. The Maserati has jumped his way up front, in front of Ramiro Perez now. A pass there through sector 3 gets the Maserati back into P5, and this train now gonna regather behind the what'd you call it, the gatekeeper that is the Maserati?
It's his, yeah, it's kind of just holding everyone up. Like, once you get by, you can usually take off for the most part. Doesn't look to be the case for Miro at the moment, though. F1 and GRG.
We all know that we're better than F1. No. Much better racing happening here on this racetrack from Misano in the GT4 cars at the moment.
Big dive there.
Just under 17 minutes remain in this one.
Like the 17 and 11 got caught up in another incident. What lap are we on? I'm gonna say this is lap 8.
Back this up and recheck out this incident here as they're coming down through the turn 1 chicane. The BMW was way far back, so what happened to the Porsche here that allowed the BMW to catch up? Let's find out. Ooh, a little bit of a curb catch there, which slowed him down the braking zone. BMW late braking and just caught the rear end of that Porsche there. That was not quite sure whether the Porsche was slow or the BMW was fast, but definitely the BMW hit them from many car lengths back.
Yeah,
going down there.
Sorry. One of the things I've noticed with that Beamer is that particular driver, it's either missing their braking points or something, but they're messing that up. So really
the Alpine with a major slide. As Keith Hurst trying to make the attack. Also, Ramiro Perez got his way back up into P5 once again. We missed that pass in sector 3 again. Here comes Keith Hurst down the inside of the Alpine through turn 1 and 2. Good defense there by the Alpine. Now let's see if the Audi can try to Try to capitalize on that and try to get past Keith Hurst here. I am stuttering over my words, and I apologize.
Oh, it's Keith with the
contact there. Keith goes around.
contact.
That was the Alpine got really slow through turn 4, catching the curb, and Keith trying to go for a move down the inside. Ended up getting into an incident with him there, and around they went. Fortunately, no one got hurt too bad, but it appears Keith now missing the braking zone at the hairpin. Maybe a slight damage.
Look at the gap now to the leader on Loeffler. It's now down to 4.5 seconds. So Loeffler really working his way up there. Alpine all over the back of this Audi. One thing I liked about the Audi was just like, it was pretty good, except for like, I think the gear from 3 to 4 was like just weird, very weirdly placed. And then the brakes. What was the Alpine looks for a move, but can't quite, kind of backs out and thinks better of it. Oh, is he making the move now to 14, I think. Yes, this is 14. He's on the outside for 15 now. Oh, closes off the door to the Audi, so he makes that move done. He's now up to 7. Yeah, 7. Yes, 7 place.
That was a great move there by Keshan to jump his way up into P7. And that Audi, which really good under braking here, going to try to make a move possibly into turn 1. Now the Alpine even better under braking, managing to get his way up. Another twitch there though on the corner exit.
There through 3.
Oh,
looks like he hit a bad exit there too, which caught him off guard for 3. As I think there's a battle going on for the lead. Nope, never mind.
Here comes Keshan Hall up the inside of turn 4 through turn 5. Is going to get his way past the Alpine. Going to put him in a good position here to hopefully try to capitalize and bridge himself a little bit of a gap to Keith Hurst here going down the straightaway. Keith going to try to make his lunge here into the hairpin. Don't turn in. Don't turn in. Oh, Keith with a major move, and around he goes.
He had the braking down. Keyshawn was nice avoiding action there.
That was a great job of watching the mirrors there by Keshan.
I think he saw it coming. He was like, "Oh, he's coming here. I'm gonna just move slightly over to the right." I think that saved Keith the penalty.
Richard here with a great move to get himself back up into the P6 here though. After that moment of grabbing onto the wheel for dear life for Keshan. That was a great job watching the mirrors though. Oh, and that Alpine once again going off. The car seems to really be struggling for grip right now, especially on the corner exit. You can just see it twitch every time. There it goes again.
Ooh, little slide. Yep. Oh, Audi gets stuck behind there through.
Keshan to check up. Another really good awareness move by Keshan though to not make any contact. Maserati coming his way back up through now in front of Keith Hurst. Up front, the gap still maintaining about half a second between first and second, and half a second between second and third. Loeffler, though, now right up to the rear end of the Bunatix Camaro, so he's going to be trying to get his way back past. He's really caught up a lot of time here after that earlier spin. He was back with this pack that's fighting currently for P6 just about 15 minutes ago. He was back here, so heck of a move for him to try to drive his way back up and now be able to contend for a podium and possibly a win with just 11 minutes remaining in this race from Misano.
Trying to get my back up here.
The Alpine really is not happy over the curbs at all, it seems, which is weird because that car is good over the curbs and it's seeming to like the corner entry curbs, but is not liking corner exits as Keshan outbrakes himself at turn 10. Goes very wide. That's going to allow the Maserati back through. Shaw now up into P7. And once again, the gatekeeper working his way back up the field. And that's really going to pull out a gap here for the Alpine. Oh, Keshan contact there with the Maserati. Around he goes just in front of Keith down at turn 13.
Gosh, people.
He was trying to make a move there. The Maserati missed the apex slightly, so he was trying to make his way a move up the inside. Which
it's Loeffler making a move there into 4. Can't quite get it done. So he's stuck behind the Camaro now. Again, down to 6. Oh, but he actually makes the move into 6 as the Camaro goes wide. Loeffler now to 3rd place.
Once again, that Porsche showing its really good drive through turn 5 and 6 there. Just smooth, able to take the curbs, nothing getting upset. Meanwhile, the Camaro, as we saw there, bouncing all over the racetrack, allowing Loeffler his way up to the P3. Now on the podium, he's got just a 2.5 second gap to go run down now to the lead.
Yeah, 2.7, yes.
So he's got himself a shot to go and run that down to go get this win with just 9 minutes remaining from Misano. As we were saying earlier with that incident between the Maserati and the Audi, just the Maserati missed the apex at turn 13, and the Audi was just trying to be opportune, went up the inside, and then the Maserati, instead of going off the racetrack though entirely, managed to slow himself down and stay on the track, and I don't think the Audi was expecting it, which resulted in him taking the racing line and the Maserati taking the racing line. Can't have 2 cars in the same spot on the racetrack. Doesn't work like that. So Keshan now well down the field. That was a major spin for him. That's going to lose him a ton of time. Up front, meanwhile, Salman right on the bumper of Varga, trying to work his way past. Obviously, he wants to get through here as fast as possible. So he has to know that Loeffler's coming his way back up and can't be too happy about that incident earlier at turn 4. Salman wants by, and he wants by fast. 3.2 seconds now, the gap between 1st and 3rd. So either these two up front need to just get in line and go quick and battle within the last couple minutes, or they need to battle now and then get in line and go quick. They need to figure out what on earth that they want to do to try to prevent that Loeffler Porsche from working his way back up. That car is so much faster than them right now, at least half a second faster per lap than anyone in front.
Really driving the wheels off that Porsche there in the back, that's for sure. So I don't know if I have a lap time. Let's see. Where's my lap time? That's not my lap time. Lap time counter. No, come back here. Nope, don't. There we go. This. Lap timing. Nope, never mind. Not gonna show me the fastest lap. Boo. Oh.
If you are in the game, it shows the lap time down in the bottom right, just below their name. Whenever you click on them, it'll show their lap time for a brief moment.
Oh, his fastest lap was a 43.8. So, fairly sure that is the fastest on track. Yes, it is. It's the fast. Oh, bye. It's the fastest lap on track there. By about, I think it's 3/10, I want to say. Salman has a 44.1 as his fastest, so right around that 3/10.
He is the only car to hit a lap so far through the 43s during this race. Last time around, the difference was a 1:45.2 for Salman, a 1:44.2 for Loeffler. 1 second closed between the front 2 and 3rd place. As you can see now from the telecam shot, he's in the shot. He's there in the background of this battle for the lead. He's trying his way through there. He's now got as much of a gap between him and Salman as he does between him and Bunetix. That Porsche is fast, it is hooked up, and the driver has a reason to be pushing it to every bit of its limit. 6 minutes remaining here. The battle for the lead is just heating up now. This is going to be a fantastic finish, hopefully, as long as these guys can all keep it clean. Further on down the field, that train of 5 we had, of course, is broken up between the couple contact incidents and Ramiro just getting his way through early. Really broke out a gap. You can see it between the gap between 5th and 6th is now 7.5 seconds. That's the difference between Ramiro getting by with 15 minutes remaining and Richards getting by with 9 minutes remaining. So that those 6 minutes, it resulted in 6 seconds.
Gap really closed down. We'll get it delta as we cross the line here. It currently looks to be about 2.2 seconds, but I'm fairly sure it's actually decreased from there.
It was a good lap by Varga to go put himself a little bit of space between himself and Sod. He ran a 144.6 last time around, with Loeffler running a 144.0, so still 0.6 slower than Loeffler in the other Porsche, but a good lap there that was 0.3 faster than Salmon, so managed to branch out just a little bit of a gap there between them. These three cars all now within one camera shot. 5 minutes to go. This is going to be a fantastic last couple laps here, hopefully.
Gap is now down to 2 seconds from the leader to Loeffler. Yeah, I'd say about 3 laps to go, give or take.
Yeah, I would expect roughly around there, 3 laps to go, because we should see 2 laps under the green and then 1 lap where they cross with like about, what, 15-20 seconds remaining. So hopefully we can see 3 more laps here out of this race, because I want to watch this battle unfold.
As the 11 car gets a drive through, I'm guessing the track limits there, so might have a back marker somehow. Surprise.
Yeah, he's currently going through the pit lane now, just hit the limiter. We'll see how that car comes off the exit, but it does appear as if it might be close. Well, depends on how well that car exits the pit lane. Oh, major slide there from Varga under the braking zone. That's going to pull Salmon right back up to his bumper here, as they're just now coming by the car that's leaving the pit lane. It should be able to disengage its pit limiter now. It's not, though. I think that he's letting them go by. So that was nice.
No, it's all the way at the end there, at the pit lane, I think.
Oh, okay, all right. Is it all the way at the end?
Yes.
That was fortunate for the leaders then. That allowed them to get through with no traffic now. All 4 of them, in fact. Loeffler now right on the bumper of Salmon going through turn 5.
Yeah, this Porsche is really taking an inside line, where Salmon kind of taking it wider, not really touching the curbs there.
Yeah, look at that in turn 6. Salmon slow on the exit of 6. Very slow on the exit of 6. So that's going to let Loeffler through. I wonder if Salmon maybe just didn't want to contest with that position whatsoever and was willing to just let Loeffler back through to go let him fight for the spot for the lead, and maybe make a last lap lunge as those two fight. Just try to prance on maybe a mistake from one of the two to go get the win for Salmon. Maybe that's what he's thinking here. Which isn't too bad of a thought. Especially if you know that you're not going to be faster than Loeffler in the end. And
Down the field, looks like Keith getting past Richards there, going into 7. Able to keep the Alpine behind for the first part of the corner. Ooh, as Keith's a little bit of slides, the Alpine's going to come back around the outside. As the 17 has a drive-through as well. It looks like the Alpine back in front of Keith.
Should be crossing with 2 laps to go here, just over enough time to set 1 more lap.
Yeah, unless they get slow for about 10 seconds somehow. I don't think they're gonna get another lap. No, they'll get another lap.
Loeffler's Porsche, he seems to have burned the rear tires off that car, so it seems to be sliding on the corner exit everywhere now. I wonder if he's really pushed that car so hard that now it's at its end of its wit, or maybe Varga's been doing the inverse and has been saving his car, and now here with just 2 minutes to go has no reason to not push it to 100. The last time around, now Varga's running roughly the same lap, but Loeffler 0.7 slower there. As you mentioned, that battle going on for P6 is still on as they go through turn 1 and 2 there. The Alpine's still up front, but the Aston Martin of Keith Hurst obviously wanting to contest for that spot. Every position pays points in this race, so every position matters.
Yeah, if we had a much bigger grid, it'd be a different thing with points. But because there are 11 cars out of the top 15 that score.
There's half a minute remain. This is going to be one more lap whenever they come to the line here. Does Michael Loeffler have enough in the tank to go make a push here? Just 1 second the gap up front.
Leaders on final lap.
I'm not too sure how far he can push it. To be honest, I don't know if he's got enough to work his way up and go get that lead. Gonna be close. He's he's 1 second back, but obviously 1 second is just a couple car lengths with these slower GT4 cars. So he can make up that time with a lunge and then maybe just one mistake from Varga. So a well-timed move, and he should be able to get there. Using up every single inch of the curbing there. Trying to maximize corner entry, trying to maximize the corner exit. Down into turn 9 and 10 they go. Right up to the bumper now. Michael Loeffler going to try to get a good run down the straightaway, but it appears Varga gets a little bit smoother of a run to work his way down the racetrack. There's 0.4 of a second here as they enter sector 3 down towards turn 13.
Big dive.
I think
Really
that was
close.
the move that he needed to make, though. It's going to put him there.
and he
Oh,
missed
contact for the
the
lead.
tap.
Loeffler electing to slow down. He obviously doesn't want to take the win that way, so he's going to let Varga come back through. Good hard racing there, but also fair racing, as we saw whenever he tried to make that lunge. Made a little bit of contact, but respect between him and Varga. Going to back off and let him let Peter go take that win.
For that down the field, the Alpine and Keith are still battling here for 6th place. Keith having the inside for the triple right-hander pushes the Alpine out wide. Keith might have this. Alpine looking for a move into 13. Thinks better of it. Oh, tries making a similar dive to Loeffler. Doesn't make contact though, so that's good. Still falling behind the Aston. Doesn't look like he'll get him here.
Going back to that dive up front, I think that was more of an insurance policy as well by Michael, because that's going to prevent him from getting a penalty there, because of the fact that it was kind of it was a no harm no foul type of incident. He was going for a hard move for the win, and no one really got hurt by it by any means, which is an insurance policy, because had he made that contact and made the move by, he could have been penalized for 5 or more seconds, which would have pushed him down the field, possibly even to 4th. So
As Daniel pulling a Michael Schumacher, taking his drive through the final lap there.
which of course still results in a 30-second penalty because you aren't able to complete the drive-through prior to the race end.
Green light, go, go, go.
What time is this one? Oh yeah, forgot about that.
So our winner there, Peter Varga in the number 5 Porsche, managed to capitalize on the early mistakes from Salman Saad and Michael Loeffler whenever they made contact at turn 4. Managed to get through to the lead there and never looked back. He kept it the whole way through. So very good move there in race 1 for Peter Varga. Now we're going to work our way into qualifying 2 here in just a couple moments. But for now, we're going to work our way into a commercial break and go grab your snacks and drinks and rest. You have something to say, Ethan?
I just said I completely forgot my replay. To save the replay. I wish there's an autosave feature that wasn't as stupid as theirs. Because the way theirs works is it saves every like you can only set it's going to save every 5 minutes. I don't want that.
Really? So it doesn't work like the R Factor one does, where it just saves the race at the end?
You have to save it yourself.
That's unfortunate.
Very annoyed.
All right, well, we will be back in just a couple moments to do qualifying 2.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Alright, and here we are for qualifying 2 on a beautiful Sunday morning here. It's 6:02 a.m. From Misano. We were watching the onboard here for Peter Varga, our race 1 winner, who's been just now is starting his timed lap. You can see the sunrise that's just happening off the east side of the racetrack, and you can just see how stunning and beautiful of a game that ACC really is. It comes into its own light whenever it has these lighting scenarios of morning and sunset. It's very, very good at it. And obviously with the sunlight there blinding through turn 5 and 6, not going to be an easy task. It should also be blinding itself down towards turn 13 as well. It's going to make it quite difficult possibly for our racers to spot their braking zones or even try to make maneuvers of not running into each other up front. So this could make for an interesting time here though for qualifying, with the braking zones again being just slightly hindered by the sun. Could see either slower or faster times. Once again, the track is really cold here. 19 degrees Celsius at this time. It was 26 in the last race and 21 during the last qualifying session. 19 is going to be the coldest it's going to be on the weekend. You can see there, that's what I mean. Peter Varga missing his braking zone down towards turn 13, and off the track he goes.
Daniel putting the first time lap with a 1:47.7. Looks like Salmon's the next guy on a time lap here. So he makes his run down the line, see what he can do. He does a 1:43.5, already setting the pace.
Fastest lap so far of the weekend, set right there. Salman Saad to the top. Let's see, is Michael Loeffler coming along? Is he on a timed lap at the moment? I do believe so.
He is. Oh,
he sets a 1:43.4. Top of the board goes Loeffler.
See if these drivers can trade the lap times once again. Last qualifying session, it was only a 200th gap between the two. Let's see if it's closer to this. See what Bunatix can do now. His last lap got validated there, going through turn 14. He ran a little wide, so he makes his run now through 15. Looks like the 97 opting to not qualify there. Looks like to me, at least. 83 goes to the third place there. 6/10 down. They're coming through the final couple corners. Same with Salman there in the back.
Is Salman going to make another charge towards the pole? He does not go faster. So the pole will remain with Michael here for at least the time being. These drivers do have enough time maybe for one more reset. But it's going to have to happen quickly there. Salman going off the racetrack at turn 1. Let's see if Loeffler goes any faster in his lap 2.
He does.
He does. A 1:43.1. That's a dominant lap time there, and definitely the fastest so far of the weekend. Almost in that 1:42 bracket.
Really showing his pace here.
Unfortunately, it appears as if we've lost the Alpine for race 2. Car had itself some time constraints in the box and was unable to show up for race 2. Yes, the Unreal Engine is very pretty though. It is a very good lighting engine, especially whenever it comes to times like this and in games where you have the sun arrays and the bloom.
Yeah, I believe an R factor they re-implemented. So they started added PBR shaders to the tracks and cars this year, and they re-implemented God rays in the last update, which is just those like extreme like sun, just lights of sun coming down, essentially.
The ones that basically make it where you're unable to see anything that's happening in front of you. Peter Varga up to P3 now, just behind Salman. Salman trying to go faster, unable, but at this point you can't do a reset, so you're stuck on the racetrack now. Salman's got to go faster this time around. He ran 1:44.6 right there. That was well off the pace of the top lap times. He's really got to give it his all for this lap in order to get his way up into first place. Loeffler on the pit lane. He doesn't see any reason to go for a challenge. I think he practiced a pit entry even there. Chase a worthy shout, being that this is the longer race of the two in the round. It's going to be a 40-minute long race. You never know, you may get some damage or something like that, and you need to take that chance to repair your car risk-free, and so take that practice time you can get on.
I think everyone will get one more lap in here after this one. Let's see if we can get back up here. As the 11 dives in, they're no longer taking part in qualifying. Mira making his first and only attempt at qualifying. See there in the back, the 83 of Bunatix making his run down the line. He invalidated his lap there somewhere along the lines, so he will be starting his
top four
lap.
right now. Those separated by just half of a second between first and fourth, but then of course down to P5 you got a 4.5 second gap, so we're still waiting to see. Oh, the Alpine has returned.
Oh, they're back, yeah.
As we're waiting to see some of these other cars possibly set their laps here. Through coming Salman, can he improve? 1:43.3.
Not enough to get in position though, is Keyshawn Hall making his lap across the line, but does not actually have a valid lap. It doesn't look like. Jump up to Ramiro and see what he can do. So he'll be the first one to cross the line.
Still one more lap eligible though here for Salman. If he can give it his all on this lap, he may be able to jump his way up into that provisional pole, but he misses the apex at turn 6, and that's going to end his lap chance.
Yep, he pulls off.
Peter Varga, however, though, still on an active lap. Let's see if he can go any faster. Major slide there at the apex of the hairpin. What was that? It's turn 7 hairpin.
Yes.
A major slide there, so that's going to hurt his lap time overall, but let's see if he can still get it gathered and possibly jump his way up to P2 or P1 here.
Nope, as Bunatix goes off there in turn 14, so that's his qualifying over. Ramiro crossing the line now. He goes P5. Only 2.5 seconds off the pace there.
These qualifying lap times are unreal as Varga goes off at turn 13. Trying to push it to its absolute limit there, going for the pole and a little bit over what his car had. Here comes Keyshawn Hall on the final lap. Let's see if he can jump his way up at least to that P5, P6 spot. Playing it dangerous there, going with that Audi. That Audi's fun and it's good whenever you can get it right, but it is hard to get it right in that car. It does not like basically anything. Flashing the headlights as he comes across P6 there for Keyshawn Hall.
Sit and wait now till the end. Qualifying to skip over. There we
Keyshawn
go.
out there pulling his donuts in turn 3. Swap over to the helicam now that we are in the race. 2 minutes till the race start here, so once again we are going to just take a small break, rest our voices, and we'll be back for the start.
Seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Alright, and here we are. The cars are rolling now. Apologies for the little bit late commentary entrance there, about a minute and a half late, but cars are rolling here through Misano. They're coming down towards turn 13 here in Sector 3, waiting on them to get that double file. This is an assisted start, right, Ethan? We're not doing the full manual starts in these
No,
servers?
not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
Let's
keep it on the assisted start, I think. I feel like
Yeah.
that's probably a more explanatory and more straightforward way to do it. Is to do the assisted starts.
If we get a better multi-class grid, I'd go towards the manual to give the GT4s a gap and the GT3s.
That is fair. But also, too, we'd have to have people who understand what they're... Ooh, Salman is taking a weird line there.
Not sure what he's doing over there.
I mean, they do realize the fact that they can't hit each other, right? And so, like, having to slam on the brakes to not run into the car in front of you is not a big deal. Maybe not. But let's see here. As they're coming through the final corner, cars are getting ready to roll. Once again, we're going to wait for those lights to go green. They'll be going green here any moment. Moment's right about here.
Green light, give it all you can.
Yep,
Yep,
there they go.
It is. Green they go. Down towards turn 1. The Camaro with a mega jump. Going to try to peek his way around the outside. 3 wide they are at the tail end of the field. 17 Porsche wisely backs out of that one.
Someone again.
Ooh, contact.
Contact.
Varga and who's that? Keshan and Varga make a contact in the back that collects the BMW at turn 2.
Gosh, guys.
That's going to be a lap 1 incident point there. Salman into the lead now. Managed to overlap Loeffler. That's going to bring, that's going to keep Bunatics right up there on the back. As you can see, the scoreboard's really confused there for the first sector of the race. Trying to figure out what on earth is happening.
Just like last race, Salman taking the lead first couple laps.
See if it can stay this way this time, and hopefully no contact between the two. Hopefully they could have a good race this time around. I mean, it was a good race last time too, because we got to watch Loeffler have an absolute mega drive for the remainder of that race.
Not sure what happened, but Ramiro sitting in pit lane as well.
Possible retirement,
Potentially.
or maybe a penalty pit roads or pit lane start. That could be why that there was some confusion there on the start, and he could have maybe had a penalty for a pit lane start and just hasn't decided to drive yet.
Maybe. Salman taking a really big gap already, going through sector 3. So after lap 1, Salman leads the race, followed by Loeffler and Bunatics. Wait. Alpine there has Keith Hurst all over the back of his car. Looks like Peter slowly trying to catch that gap as Keith looking to the inside, going down to turn 7. Side by side down the kinked straight. Keith makes the move before the corner. Ooh, Alpine tries turning in there. Can't quite get the move done because Keith was still there. 5 of Peter Varga actually sticking behind him as well.
Up front, we have a side-by-side fight for the lead. Lafayette going for it. Up the inside of San. Ooh, almost pinching him off there, going through turn 12, down towards 13 now.
See Alpine defending from the number 5 of Varga. Oh, he actually looks like he's... Oh,
a
misses
little bit of a
his
lock up there.
Yep. So he falls back. Can't quite catch up to Keith there, but still defending for the 5 now. 5 looking for the inside at 16. Is he going to get it done? Looks like he will, is the Alpine there. Backs up before the corner.
Yeah, the Alpine backed way up there, going into the corner entry. Back here we got the Audi and BMW here racing each other. The Audi with a good run up off of the final corner. Keshan going to be trying to work his way down towards turn 1 here. Maybe get just a little bit of an overshoot under the braking here. Note the BMW with a late brake, sliding it through the apex. That's going to try to give the Audi a run back through turn 2 and 3 here. We keep it to the right. Very good move so far. Cleanly done. Gets through down towards turn 4 now. Keshan trying to make a recovery drive after the spin in turn 2. Peter Varga now right up to the bumper of Keith Hurst there. A major slide going through the hairpin. Another possible lockup there. track is really cold right now, 21 degrees Celsius, so these cars are going to be sliding all over the place here at 7 a.m.
Yeah, it's only headed up 2 degrees since qualifying, I think it was. Or was that 19? Track is still surprisingly fast and not optimum. Usually get to optimum by either by the end of qualifying or Sunday, which is really weird.
I feel like for it to be optimal, it probably need to be a little bit warmer.
That could be it, but usually it's just based on the rubber laid down on the track.
Ooh, Varga with a little bit of a loose spin there, turn 14. That's going to lose him quite a bit of time. The Keith Hurst. Battle for P4 should be heating up, though. Obviously, Varga is fast. Through qualifying, we saw him, be up there in that fight for the top 3. So the Porsche obviously is hooked up, but gonna have to put together some good clean laps here. No sliding, no oversteer, no bad throttle placement. He's gonna have to put together a really good run to try to go catch his way back up, just like we saw Loeffler do last time, work his way back up. Now it's Varga's turn in the other Porsche.
As they look to be very spread out there at the top. They're all about a second gap between each other in the top 3.
Let's jump on board with a car that we haven't yet so far, and that's going to be the Alpine. We haven't really watched this car as it drives around. Of course, it's got this funky dash on the interior where it's the custom one that the car has in real life, but yet they removed all the dash components and stuck them on the steering wheel. So it's kind of got a unique interior, and for some drivers it's quite disorientating because due to the fact that all the information is on the steering wheel, and most drivers racing from either the dash cam or without a steering wheel, they don't get the ability to see most of the information that the car has to offer in that little dash display. For some drivers, they don't care too much about that. They use the in-game multifunction display, among other things, to cycle through that. But for some drivers, including myself, the dashboard in the game is where your information comes from, and so not being able to have that could be a big deal for some people.
Yeah, when I see people drive the prototypes like the Orca and the LP2s and the LP1s where the dash is on the wheel, because that is the specific design of the car, and they either have they just have the wheel removed or they're so far up that you don't see it. It's like, and then they end up using overlays people have created. It's just like the car has it made. Yeah, you're right. You aren't looking down at it, but still, it's there for a reason. So it looks like Salmon actually gets passed there by Loeffler, sorry.
Yeah, you got me earlier on that one. We have Michael Loeffler into the lead here. Let's back this up. I want to see this pass for the lead while we're riding on board talking about the Alpine interior. Coming through the final corner here. He was many car lengths back actually going through the final corner at the start of this lap, so he gains a lot here. Salmon's got to make a mistake. We'll jump the camera up here to watch Salmon as he comes through turn 2. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far. A little bit of time gain there through 1 and 2 for Loeffler. Really good braking down into turn 4. Salmon appeared to be a bit early, and Loeffler just got in there really late, took full advantage of it, and then at turn 6, Salmon missed the apex at turn 6, went wide off the track, and that, with what we've seen with the Porsche being so good through there all weekend long, just took full advantage of that mistake there. After a really good braking zone at turn 4, managed to be just close enough to make that move. So that was a really good setup there by Loeffler, and a fortunate mistake by Salmon that allowed that 327 Porsche on through to the lead.
Salmon really closing up now, down into 4, trying to make a move.
Keep it clean this time here. Last time Salmon tried to make a move into turn 4, there was contact made. Let's see if they can keep it clean here. Once again, the Porsche just so good through turn 6. Shows it again there. Just drives away from the Aston Martin through that turn 5-6 complex.
Missed it last lap, but going into turn 7, the 5 of Peter Varga was able to pass Keith was able to pass Keith Hirsch for 4th place.
A good move there for Varga. That's something that he needed to do. The gap is 6.5 seconds to P3. It's about 8 seconds up to the lead. So he really needed to get that done. And now, with 30 minutes remaining in this race, he's got time to go run him down. He just needs to put the pedal down and go get it. Last time around, Michael Loeffler, fastest car on the racetrack, running a 1:43.75 compared to Todd's 1:45.3. So that just shows just how much of a mistake that Salmon made going through the turn 4, 5, 6 complex there. Really allowed Loeffler, who nailed it, to capitalize on that and make the pass. That time around, but now that we didn't have an overtake, it was a 1:44.1 out of Loeffler, a 1:44.2 out of Sod, a 1:44.8 out of Bunetix, and a 1:44.0 out of Varga. So Varga is faster, but a tenth of a second won't get you up front. So he's really going to have to put in some good laps. Sod misses the braking zone there at the hairpin.
Loeffler slowly extending that gap to Salmon. Or Loeffler. I keep making it. Yeah.
It's an L, not an I.
Yeah, as the 11 BMW has an issue there. Not sure what happened, but going into turn 7, they made some kind of mistake. Slowly making their way back on track.
They're seeming to
I think they're retiring.
not be able to shift up.
They have the gearbox issue?
Yep, they're having a gearbox issue. Car is unable to shift up. I was watching them there. They went from 3rd down to 2nd. They went from 2nd down to 3rd, and then down to 1st. Then from 1st down to neutral, and they never went back up. So possibly a gearbox issue there for the 11 BMW. A very unfortunate gearbox issue. And one that we have seen before here in ACC. So I wonder if that is just an inbuilt mechanical failure that the game has, or if it's a ongoing glitch possibly that someone needs to get sorted over there at Kunos. But unfortunate retirement for 11. Salmon now right back up to the bumper of Loeffler. Really going to be trying to run his way down, just a half a second between the two. You can see the gap on the screen, just car lengths between them. Not even worth talking about it in seconds. It's worth talking about it in distance, and it's just mere feet between the bumpers of these cars right now. 25, or actually 26 minutes remain here at Misano. Race 2, the GT4 Championship here for GRG eSports. Peter Varga is currently sitting P4. He won race 1, but the way that they're running on the racetrack right now is how they qualify between 1st and 2nd place. So Salmon's still trying to get the better of that lack of qualifying he made. Obviously, between the two, there was only a tenth of a second, so it isn't like Loeffler was much faster than Sod, but Sod just got that 2nd place qualifying and hasn't been able to pull away from Loeffler at any point in time during these races, including race 1. Last time around, Sod was the fastest car on the track with a 1:43.4, fastest lap set period during the race.
And he's slowly bringing that gap. Kind of got like an accordion effect going on. Like they're closing up and they're breaking apart. Closing up, and breaking it apart. Like,
the Aston Martin does definitely appear to be faster through the Sector 3 and the Turn 1, 2, 3 complex. However, the Porsche is just so quick through 4, 5, and 6 that it eradicates anything else that the Aston Martin has. That 4, 5, 6 complex really showing how important it is to this racetrack, because that's really the only place where that Porsche is quicker. But it's just, again, it's just so much quicker through turn 6 that it really allows it to pull down that straightaway. And the Aston Martin just loses out at about a second there every lap. It's always fascinating to see how the different cars gather their time in different ways. And this is probably one of the most dramatic cases I've seen of it, in the sense of the Aston is literally faster everywhere but turn 6. And turn 6 is all you need apparently at a track like Misano. You can be really good through that section. It benefits your whole lap.
almost halfway through the race here. Getting down to 24 minutes left.
That time around was a 1:44.1 from Stallman, while it was a 1:43.5 fastest lap of his race there for Michael Loeffler, but still not the fastest lap of the race, which saw it set just a couple laps ago. As we can see, the track condition has changed over to optimum, so it should be getting a bit faster.
It's still really weird that it wasn't optimum before. It's still the same temperature.
Thank you for the follow there, Marco. Much appreciated.
Trying to look on track for anything. It looks like the Porsche of Daniel has passed the Alpine of Richards there for 6th place. Not sure when that happened. Well, it was fairly recent though.
Go ahead and over here to the helicam, go check our way down the field. Of course, Loeffler saw it up front. That gap's kind of just maintaining at the moment. Down the field, we have the Camaro of Stefan Bunetix, which really hasn't got too much camera time here so far. The car's been just rather quiet. Last race, of course, he was there pretty much the whole time for the battle for the lead, but he was just kind of off the tail end a little bit. Here in race 2, it appears to be a very similar story. He's up front. He's right there. You know, if something happens for the lead, he can capitalize on it, but he's just too far back to really be participating in any sort of fight. Peter Varga, of course, our winner in race 1. Now he's gotten collected in a lap 1 incident, and he's worked his way down the field, but trying to fight back up towards the front. Just at the moment, the gap is maintaining relatively similar between the lead and himself, so doesn't seem to be having a similar drive to Loeffler did in race 1, where Loeffler managed to gain up all of his time. Varga appears to be more so staying steady on his time, kind of letting Bunetix come back to him. So in this situation, as he goes off track there at the hairpin, Bunetix, of course, is falling off from P2, but Varga is gaining on Bunetix, so that hopefully he can find his way up maybe for that podium position. We can see a fight there. Down the board, Keith Hurst maintaining a really good spot here just behind Peter Varga. Of course, these two were side by side just 20 minutes ago, but good job by Keith managing to try to keep the pace and not get too far off from that Varga Porsche.
Looks like the Alpine is back ahead of the Porsche. Not sure when that one happened. That happened before turn 1, I know that. But it looks like we do have a battle on our hands for 6th place once again.
It appears that Daniel's having a really hard time just having control of that Porsche. It keeps on understeering and then snap oversteer on corner exit. He had that during the first race and during qualifying as well, so possibly just an unsettled, unhappy car there that Daniel's having to deal with in that TSE eSports car. We have lost the Maserati as well.
Mm-hmm.
So another unfortunate loss in the races, because the again, as you worded it, the gatekeeper unavailable for the racing here.
Yeah, I think that. Oh, so Daniel with a drive-through now. It's gonna help Keyshawn potentially gain a position.
It's the second drive-through we've seen now out of that car. He got one at the end of race 1, so having it happen here once again in race 2. It's not a very good look or showing there to get a drive-through penalty, especially this early on now in the race. Ideally, you want to at least save your corner cuts for later on, but that's going to be a major blow to him. He's going to have to serve that within the next couple laps, and as you said, that can bring the Kishan Hall and the Jane BMW up through. Maybe to gain each of them another position there to get that P7, but not quite sure. There is a good gap between those two. But this is a long pit lane, especially with the long drive out that they have installed here.
Looks like he's gonna hold on for as long as possible. He needs to take the drive-through to that with the last race as well. Trying to look to see on the timings here. The gap between the two is okay. The gap. It's grown a little bit since the last lap. It was about 8/10 last lap. It's now about a second. So the Alpine slowly pulling away from the Porsche behind.
Something I did forget about was the fact that the BMW had that issue with the downshift, and so they are 2 laps down to Keshan Hall here. Even though they're fighting him on the racetrack, they are, of course, fighting him for position. So that is something I did just remember about that fight, is that that car had those downshift issues. So it does appear as if possibly fixed. That is a good thing for him to be able to be back out on the racetrack and have him fix that.
These are leaders. Really spread out there. The gap between the two is now about 3.6 seconds.
In comes Daniel now to serve his drive-through. We're going to try to ride on board for this and just see how long of a pit stop this really is. Just how much of a penalty this drive-through is as well. Came in running relatively slow there, trying to make sure that he's below the pit speed limit. Obviously don't want to get a penalty. Driving past the GRG eSports safety car there. So normally you would think that you could withdraw.
Oh, Keyshawn has drive-through. I was like, I was looking at the map and was like, wait, he's going into the pit lane. And then I look over the timing. It says he has a drive-through. So actually, it's not really going to help him at all. Catch up to Daniel.
Both of the cars at the tail end of the field, you're going to end up with drive-through penalties there. Corner cutting. If you're going to do it, at least make it beneficial. Don't corner cut and still be in last. Oh, no. Kishan. Oh, alright. I thought he was going to stop there for a second. As he seemed to swerve into a pit box. But then I think he remembered that he's serving a drive-through, not a stop go.
Yeah, I can see that. He'll be passed by the leader, Loeffler. I need to stop. Just need to stop because he might actually come in the way of
Salman
Salman
here. Yeah, he's gonna come up just in front of Salman, so that's gonna put a little bit of traffic in the way of our leaders here. Maybe if it holds up someone like Sod or Bunatix a little bit, might help Varga in his chase for the podium here. 15 minutes remaining in this race.
As Richards there in the back. I mean, he's not really in the back. He's mid-pack, but he's just like driving a race, just in his own, just doing his own thing there. Surprised I can hear that Audi a lot more than I can the Aston Martin.
See that Bunatix Camaro there with the big old shark teeth off in the back. Wanting to come down and feast on some cars in front of him here. Hopefully we see some action happen here in just the next couple minutes. Again, Salman catching up to the rear end of Keshan here. Keshan does not have to get out of the way. Blue flags are not mandatory here. They're just purely an advisory warning of faster car behind you. Keshan does elect to pull to the left side of the straightaway though, to give Salman the contact. Is Salman trying to get the maximum side draft there off of the Audi? Decided to maybe get a little bit too friendly with him and door check just a little bit there, going down the front straightaway.
Funnily enough, I was looking over at the Discord chat, and it looks like they're they're in the chat together, both of them.
Maybe some words being crossed between the two right now over there. One can only wonder.
Gap keeps increasing between Loeffler and Sod. Now up to 6 and almost 7 seconds actually now. Just very tired and kind of, yeah. Let me see if I can find something here. No, I don't.
My Amazon Echo decided to give me a reminder that I forgot I set yesterday. And apparently I set it for about 10 minutes too early because it was supposed to happen just after the race ended, but I forgot about the fact that this was a two race session, so that's my own fault for mixing that one up. Here comes Bunatix now trying to get his way past the Audi of Keshan Hall. Keshan here still showing pace. I mean, it isn't like he's slow by any means, and obviously Keshan a good driver. He's gonna he's not gonna try to race them, but he's not gonna let them just by on ease. So that's gonna hold up Bunatix a little bit there through turn 1 and 2. It's gonna help Varga out just that little bit on catching back up. Bunatix taking all the runoff there through turn 6. Now it's gonna be Varga's turn to try to go catch up to the 44 Audi of Keshan Hall.
Kind of forgot the Varga was there. Like, not that he hasn't been doing anything, because he's been working his way through the field. That's for sure. He's caught all the way back up for the most part to the podium positions. It's got about 2.5 second gap between him and Bunatix. Up as the 11 cars drive through for track limits. Looks like they had an issue at 1 there.
Varga now just a couple car lengths there off of Keshan Hall's car, but again, you know, Keshan's quick. He's staying right on pace there with Bunatics. So trying to be able to keep up and maybe prove a little bit in his head that he does have the pace to be up front, and just maybe a better qualifying position, and of course avoiding the contact there on lap 1. And he could be up here fighting for this podium position right now. Track temp has gone up. It's 22 degrees now on the surface.
Getting the final 9 minutes of the race here. So the last quarter sprint these drivers need to do. It's
Up
11
front,
now.
Michael Loeffler bridged a 8.5 second gap, but the lead now. He's really put together a clinic in this one. Of course, you know, avoiding the early incidents has really helped him. Sod, you know, had to deal with the lap traffic there for a couple laps, and so Loeffler's just been able to put together a really good, clean run to just stay up front and get by. As here goes Varga on Keshan Hall. He got his way through at turn 13 and 14.
11 there, serving their drive-through.
We lost the Ramiro Perez car. It's left the racetrack. I don't know if that happened a while ago, but I've just now noticed it.
I think Keith might have disconnected. Not sure where he went.
Yeah, that's the one that I've noticed that is left, was the Keith Hurst car.
It's like, wait a second, why do we have 8 cars on the track, not 9? No, there he is. Not quite sure what happened there. You should be able to, depending on when he disconnected, you should be able to finish within the points technically.
Ooh, Keshan with a major off there, all the way out in the gravel trap at the hairpin of 10. Found his way well wide. 2.5 seconds the gap between third and fourth now. See if Varga can work his way up. Possibly have a chance to go and fight Bunatics here. What are they running for lap times? They're pretty identical at the moment. Both of them running 44.6s for their lap times, so Varga's really got to put together a good string of laps here in the final 7 minutes. Keith Hurst got a disconnect, he reported. So an unfortunate disconnect once again there.
Classic. Is Peter actually slowly falling off? He's now 2.7 seconds back instead of what was 2 seconds before he lapped the 44.
Yeah, Stefan put together a really good lap there. He a 144.1 versus Varga's 144.4. The 144.1 by Bunatics being his fastest lap of the race. So he's putting it together right whenever he needs to here in the final 7 minutes. As the BMW, the number 11, taking the MotoGP shortcut there. I do believe it's the MotoGP shortcut. They're at turn 3.
Gap now down to 2.3 seconds. So, oh, maybe not. Oh, yep, there it goes.
Again, that Porsche is going to be so fast in the mid bit there. Basically from from turn 4 to turn 10. That Porsche is just going to be so much quicker through there that's where you'll see that gap close. But again, you'll see it open once they get back towards turn 1.
Looks
Sean
like.
back here fighting with the BMW just for the sake of some fun here in the final 4 minutes of this race. Worth noting here, Bunetix has closed the gap to Salman by 4 seconds in the last couple laps. Ooh! Dive there by the BMW, almost contact between those two. Another evasive maneuver from Keshan in the mirrors. BMW's going to let him back through. That was almost contact at turn 1.
Trying to see the gaps here's Loeffler, or not Loeffler, Varga, kind of staying about the same there behind Stefan. Not really gaining, not really closing. About 2 laps left in this race here, I'd say. Well, maybe. Really close there. Might be able to slow up just a bit to actually finish with 2 laps left.
Appears that the Formula 1 qualifying in real life has just ended with Valtteri Bottas getting himself a pole with, I think it was 2nd place there by George Russell. So that Mercedes keeping its domination even without their top driver, Lewis Hamilton, in the car. But obviously it does show the difference there with Lewis in the car. That there probably would have been a larger gap from Bottas. So it's good to see that George is getting his chance there in that Mercedes. And it definitely shows that he's the guy that Mercedes wants to be the future and possibly could replace Valtteri here very soon.
Not next year, because Valtteri was a 2-year contract, I believe, and Williams also has.
It's not an exclusivity contract, though. They're Mercedes specific contracts, as far as I know. So, like, for example, Mercedes could put Valtteri into the Williams again. Like, they could just do a driver swap because it still technically would be a Mercedes factory drive. It's the same thing that allowed for the promotion of George there to come up to the Mercedes, is that technically the contract is just... it's under Mercedes no matter which car he's in. But yeah, it could be worded differently with Valtteri's contract, though, to ensure that he's in the Mercedes car. But either way, I don't think it'd be anytime soon, because I think that they like Valtteri. Valtteri's really good in that car, and it makes sense for them to not change anything whenever it's working right now, but I definitely, for their sake, I think that getting George in the car as soon as they can would be good. Just so they have something for the future after Lewis, because Lewis ain't going to be around forever. He's only got a few more years in him, I think.
His comment the other day. It was like, I might not be racing for some. It was something stupid about just like basically him just to poke a tug at like, oh, maybe I'm not doing something, just to get the media on him or something. Just like, dude, just whatever. Like, I'm just, I'm not a big fan of Lewis. Just, oh, yeah, great driver, but majority of his stuff also is handed to his car as well.
Yeah, but you can tie that with any Formula 1 driver. All of the people that you consider the top all drove the top car at the time, but they made it the top car.
They made it to the top car, yes.
Well, yeah, and so did Lewis. Whenever he joined Mercedes, they weren't nowhere near the top of the grid.
Technically, it was McLaren Honda. We started with. There's McLaren Mercedes, not McLaren Honda.
Well, yeah, that's what he started with. But whenever he joined Mercedes, they were technically, in a way, a brand new team that wasn't necessarily a top tier team by any means.
I believe they were the ones that bought the Braun car.
Yeah.
So that's could go either way with that decision being how dominant that car was in the previous season because of its, I believe it was the double diffuser. There's something that made it just like freaking just fast as hell. There's something they did. I can't recall what it was.
Lunatic's now just 1 second the gap between him and Salmon as we get back into our race rather than the real life racing. Just 1 second the gap between these two. Final lap is here. Obviously a dominant win by Loeffler here, 14 seconds up the field. But Lunatic's coming up on Salmon. Again, just half a second now. And with traffic just ahead, you gotta wonder, maybe does the 17 slow down and be in the way of Salmon here and interrupt this pass, or do they manage to keep that gap? Lunatic's looking to the left now. We're on the outside of turn 9.
Ooh.
Gonna get really close there. Salmon keeping it parked on the apex. Goes wide though. Switch back from the Camaro.
Almost contact there, but they're able to keep it both clean there, coming out of the exit of the corner.
Teeth almost got a good bite out of the rear end of that Aston Martin.
Shark. Ooh, making the move now on the inside of the triple right-hander.
Down through turn 12. Gonna have to make a big move here going into the hairpin, because I think that's really the last place you got for a chance to pass is right here. Lunatic's just not able to get the good run. That's gonna bring Varga in here now.
Yeah.
Varga's like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm here too, going down towards the final corner.
A battle for our final 2 podium spots here. I just think Salmon might hold on to P2.
Misano turn. Varga gonna give it his absolute all there, but gonna
Really
come up just short.
Yep, not enough straight line speed there. Great battle there. Final positions.
Would have been great to see one more lap of those guys racing just like that. That would have been a fantastic final lap.
Now I'm gonna say, well, wait, I'm gonna.
That was a smart move by Lunatic.
The 44 with a little bit of a drift there.
That was a smart move by Lunatic there. Whenever he saw that maybe he wasn't gonna go guarantee himself the pass for second, to just back off, keep it safe, keep it clean, and pull home that third position and ensure that Varga wasn't gonna have a chance on it.
Yeah, exactly. Just be conservative. There's like, we have it here. There's no point to try and push so hard. I feel like. This one. Give me my replay. Nope, is Keyshawn doing a drift across the line there. Oh, great race by everyone there. Oh yeah. Find my things here.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. A great round 5 here for the GT4 Championship from Misano. These guys, of course, they gave it their all, with Porsche taking both races. So definitely a good track there for the Porsche. They were just so quick through turn 4, 5, and 6 there that it was borderline untouchable to most. So it was a nice job by them managing to get those cars set up how they needed to be and to try and keep themselves in a position to win. Really, they did what they had to do, and there with race 2 is a good redemption for Loeffler, because he, of course, was not able to get the win in the first one after making a mega recovery drive. So to be able to go make that dominant win in race 2, I'm sure that he feels very very good and very redeemed about that one.
Yep. Great drive for everyone. Next couple races this coming week, we have Tuesday, as always, round 6 of 7 of the GT3 Legacy Series at Monza. Gonna be a night race there, a track with no night lighting that I know of. And then race.
I do believe they got spotlights at the chicanes, but that's about it.
Yeah. And then what was the other one I was gonna say? Oh, crap. Next Saturday, the big 12-hour race with us and DRST. Or DSRT.
DSRT.
Yes,
Yeah, we will, of course, again, as you said, we'll be back Tuesday here on this Twitch channel for our GT3 Legacy Series. And then we will be back next Saturday for an all-day event. It's going to be about 15 or 16 hours in total here on Twitch, for a 12 hours of Imola, co-hosted with DSRT in support of the JDRF Game to Give Foundation. So definitely be sure to find your way there. I'm gonna try to get an image of it on the screen for you all. And then you can see our beautiful banner that was made up. And screen, there we are. As you guys can see, it'll be December 12th at 12 UTC, hosting the 12 hours Imola. It's a whole bunch of 12s all in one. And all donations and proceeds that will be brought in from that race will be sent to the JRF Game to Give Foundation. And we'll be co-hosting it with the DSRT guys, and they'll be here with the stream and the broadcast, helping us out for the 12 hours. And yeah, it's going to be a great event, and hopefully we can see as many of you as we can there, and everyone does find their sense of joy in it, whether it's watching it or racing in it. We have a whole bunch of cars entered. Where are we at now? We're at
27, I believe, at the moment.
Yeah, 28 teams currently signed up for that event, and of course that's 3 or 4 driver teams in each of those. So it's gonna be a very big race. It's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, and so hopefully we can see many of you there in a week's time. But for now, that's all that we got to say. A great round 5 here for the GT4 Championship, and congratulations to the winners and the podium finishers. And we will be back Tuesday for the GT3 Legacy, so we hope to see y'all there. Thank you again for the subscriptions from Matt Neal and everyone else who hung out in chat during the race. Hope y'all have a great day.
No.